This video is going to cover the tutorial file Eclips2, the animated GIF. With the file provided, if we look at the layer window, we'll see there's a file with the rocket and then the moon covering a background element which is comprised of the sun and the stars. I'll turn the moon on and select the layer. Our objective now is to make 5 more copies of this, diminishing in size from right to left. With moon layer selected, I'll right-click and choose Duplicate Layer, and I'll name it Moon 2, and I'll hit Command T. I'll scale it just a little bit smaller than moon number 1. I'll duplicate it again. I'll name that Moon 3, Command T, and if you hold the Option and drag from a corner, you can scale it and keep it in position as well. I'll duplicate the layer again. Now Command J is the key quick, so I'm going to be using that from now on, but you can right click and choose duplicate if you choose. I'll go ahead and name it Moon 4, Command T to scale it, holding the Option or Alt. I'll drag from a corner, and now I'll hit Command J, and I'll name this Moon 5, and then I'll scale it down a bit. With Moon 5 selected, I'll either right-click and choose Duplicate or hit Command J, naming it Moon 6, Command T, and I'll scale it. Now we're going to distribute them along the guides that are provided with the tutorial file. So there are 6 vertical guides. The first one is at 1 inch and the others are at 2 inch increments if you don't have the file. I'll start with moon number 6. I'll get my move tool and I'll drag it over to the intersection of the guide at 1. Selecting layer moon 5 with my move tool. Holding the shift key, I'll drag it to inch number 3 of the vertical guide. And then I'll go to the next one, 4. And then 3, then 2, and 1 is the one that is over the sun itself. Next, we'll generate frames for each of the planets separately against the background. To create each separate frame with each planet and the sun on it, we need to start with a new file in which to copy and paste. I'll select the bottom layer named Space. That's the layer with just the sun, stars on it. And I'll right-click and I'll choose Duplicate Layer. I'll choose New. And now we're going to go into the file with all the planets. And we're going to copy and paste 1 frame with each of them on at a time. I'll start by turning off all the layers except for moon number 1. Which is our eclipse, and I'll go up to Select All and then Edit, Copy, Merged. I'll select the file that will be our final frame document and I'll paste it in, and now I'll return to my original with the separate planets, turning off moon number 1 and putting number 2 on with the selection box, Select All. I'll go to Edit, Copy, Merged, and I'm going to do this with each of the variations by themselves against the background image. Turning off 3 and turning on 4, Edit, Copy, Merged, Command V in the final file. If you leave the selection box on, you don't have to keep going to Select All. Edit, Copy, Merged, Command V. Now we have all our files as individual layers. With all our frames set up separately in their own file, the last thing we need to do is move the rocket from the tutorial, and now we'll begin the animation process.